Hi, I'm Trey Easterly, and my research was on the college students' perceptions and opinions of farm animal welfare in the United States. This topic is of particular interest to me because I have been around large animals and livestock my whole life, and it holds a place in my heart. But it's also a place that's in the heart of a lot of consumers today. A lot of consumer decisions are made based on how the animals were treated. You see free-range chickens sold in organic grocery stores, and consumers are starting to make decisions about that, and it affects the way that producers actually produce our food. An example of this is a few years ago, companies started changing the way their hog production, their hogs were produced based on the consumer's opinions versus what was good for the pigs or not. They just go on the public perception of that. So that's kind of the background of that, and that's why it's interesting to me. And in some of my background research, I found that animal welfare is important in the decision-making process for consumers based on what kind of food that they buy. And the consumer's background has a bearing on the decision-making process, or it can influence the decision that you make. That is, if you are involved in animal agriculture, you may be less likely to make a decision based on animal welfare. So the purpose and objectives of this study, I wanted to analyze the perceptions and opinions of college students at the University of Florida on farm animal welfare, and kind of gauge their opinions to see what they thought about that. So in order to measure that, I had developed a questionnaire with 12 questions. This had multiple choice and Likert question, and a couple of those questions were demographic questions as well. And perhaps the most important demographic question that I asked in this was, what is your experience level with animals? And had them rate that on a scale of 1 to 5. And a lot of the comparisons that I made used that particular question. A survey was given to 30 students in a UFAEE3033 Business and Research Writing class at the University of Florida. And when I got the results back, I found that the students that have animals have a stronger opinion on animal welfare. And I found that to be true for both sides. It was interesting, some of the students who have dogs and cats and pets might have a stronger opinion one way or the other. It didn't really fall into one particular category. But I did find that the students that had the most experience with large animals, they agreed less with different companies or different organizations' strategies. For example, PETA was one organization that I looked at, and people that had experience with large animals agreed less with PETA's philosophies, and I think that's due to the experience level that they have with those animals. So the conclusions of this that we can draw from this is that the more experience level that people have with large animals, the less they agree with the stance of some of these organizations. So maybe there should be programs to let people see what's going on in animal agriculture and see how their food is produced, and increase educational efforts, and let people kind of see what's going on with how their food is produced, so they can make more informed decisions about this. There were some limitations to this. There was a short time that they took the survey, and it would be really interesting to view a larger sample and get more definitive information. Are there any questions?